Um, welcome. Welcome. What episode is this?
50.
Episode 50. We're back. Right, so who are we? I think most people that are watching know us, but if you are new or watching for the first time, hello and an enormous welcome to our podcast. My name is Sally Jane, otherwise known on most social media as Pink Hair Girl, except for Instagram where I'm Pink Hair Girl Knits. And you are?
Rachel. And I think Rachel Swims on Ravelry and I am Rachel Swims on Instagram.
I am Rachel Swims, yeah. For both of us, our Instagram names we wanted were taken. So, but you all know that if you've been watching us for a while. So welcome. There is a Ravelry group. I have a blog in which there are show notes and links to the podcast. And I think that's all you need to know about us. It has been a long time.
A month.
Do you remember how to podcast?
So good.
The last episode went up on the 31st of August, although we recorded it a few days before that. And it is now the 13th of October.
13th of October.
It was the end of August, the whole of September, and the beginning of October. We didn't record. It was really long, and it's episode 50. It's like halfway to 100.
We're going to make it to 100.
Of course we're going to make it to 100. What do you mean?
Do you think anyone's going to be left watching us at 100?
That's another question. I don't know. What have we been doing?
A lot.
Yeah, we have. As most of you know who've been following us on Instagram or anywhere else, we have had a friend of mine's children come and visit us and stay for a month. So the 4th of September until the 6th of October, I had 3 more kids. And they were ages 13, 11, so another child Rachel's age and another child Caleb's age, 8-year-olds. So, I mean, they were older. They're much older children. So, I mean, it really wasn't difficult. But it's always extra, you know, when you've got extra kids. And, you know, they were on a bit of a holiday. So we were trying to do holiday type outings and all the rest. And it's just louder. More people, more noise, more cooking, more washing, more cleaning, more everything. So it was just not possible to record. It was just not quiet enough or time to sort of organize that. We did quite a lot of things. We went to the aquarium. I mean, if you followed us basically on Instagram and Periscope, I tried to kind of keep track of what we were doing. So we've been to the aquarium, we've been on walks around the nature reserve, we've been to the penguins, we've been to the scratch patch. We did a whole sea project. They're also homeschooled. So the kind of learning activity for the time that they were here, I mean, it was a holiday, so we weren't going to go, you know, sit down and do formal learning every day. But we did a big sea project. Each child had to, you know, contribute something. We got big pieces of cardboard and put them all together, and then they wrote stuff and drew stuff and researched and Googled and all the rest. And then the places we went, we tried to kind of add things to that. And we watched movies about things that were relevant, different. We watched, documentaries, and then we watched the Dolphin Tales 1 and 2, which is, you know, quite a sweet movie as well. So that's what we've been doing. We have crafted. It might have been a bit less. I must admit, with that many kids around, it's been a little less than usual. But we do have stuff to show you. So I think, probably without further ado, we must get into all that we've been working on. We've got quite a lot, yeah. Not works in progress. Finished objects. Right, what did we finish? I did finish some stuff. Some stuff actually at the end of last month, but I hadn't recorded quite at the end, so it didn't fit. It feels like I've done these ages ago, and I haven't showed you, but I'll just quickly go through them, because you will have seen me working on these, and I had finished one of these, but these were the August socks, and I did finish them in the end. So these were the ones for Women's Month, for Sally and my Wool Diaries and my Year of Socks. I did a Periscope last night, which is a past the cast. So basically, it goes from one periscope it to the other. You know, you kind of hop across and then the one starts as the other one ends kind of thing. Yeah. And the theme was footwear, you know, so I did my year of socks, which is quite nice. I showed all the ones I've done so far this year. I'm quite enjoying Periscope. Those of you not on Periscope, let's come and check it out. Just short little videos. What's quite nice about it is even if you don't want to do a full podcast, everybody's unedited. And everybody's just, and it only stays up for 24 hours. And if you don't like it, you can delete it straight away. And it's just a little peek into somebody's world. And it's not, as I said, it's not edited and it's not fancy. Like nobody does. There's no, you know, it's just people talking, people doing whatever they're doing at that moment. So I quite like that. So Women's Day socks. Remember we used the whole skein because the colors changed the whole way through for the 3 different rainbows. So yay, done. The next thing, I hadn't quite finished it, was my Mama Vertebrae. Yeah. Yes. So here it is. And it is lovely. I really love it. It is a bit chilly. I could wear it. It is really lovely. I love it to bits and pieces. I wear it all the time. Ask Rachel. But now I have to model it properly. Do you think I can stand back here? Can you see me now? There we go.
Yeah, people can see. If I bend down.
Fix all my clothing. So you can see it's quite long. I like my cardigans to be quite long. I didn't do the extra on the front because remember I didn't read Sally's instructions if I wanted it. So mine is to pattern for how the Mama Vertebrae comes. I'll come a bit closer to show you that, but I've done quite a big. But what I want to show you is it's got a deepish armhole and it's quite loose on the arm, which I quite like. It's a nice, comfortable cardigan. And I'll come a little closer to show you the front. Now what Sally spoke about, what you might want to do is if you don't want to have such a big piece of ribbing, is when this front increase here only increases every second row. So you just get a very little piece here before you strip, split for the armhole. This bit is only about so wide at its widest part, the front part. If you want it a bit bigger than that, so it doesn't sit just underneath your armpit, you can do that increase on every round, which is I might do that if I do this again. But what I did was I just did a very big, broad rib band, and I did the 2x2 ribbing. So you do one row of 2x2 ribbing, and the next row you do plain. And then it gives this kind of what's called a garter rib effect. And I did quite long ribbing on the sleeves as well. And it's much brighter. It comes across a bit dull in this. It's actually quite a bright peachy orange color, and I really am very chuffed with it.
It's a notch color.
Yeah, we did discuss the notch color. So it's not quite sitting under my armpit. I think if I'd done it any smaller rib, it would have sort of, but it's not. It's also sort of open and out of the way. It doesn't close. I suppose I could if I really pulled it and got. No, I mean, yeah. If I pulled it and got a brooch or something maybe, but I didn't make it to do that. I think maybe if I did one that you do more increases along the front bit, I might.
Thick.
Yeah, maybe.
That looks quite nice as like
a full cardigan. But I mean, there are other patterns for full cardigans. This is supposed to be an open cardigan, and I really like it with this bigger rib on it. Yeah, so this was made from the I think it's called L Elite, and it's something I got on a special, and it was just.
Keep on saying the same.
Yeah, L Elite, which is 50% wool, 50% cotton. It's a commercial dye, so I mean the orange is all the same orange. You don't get the subtlety of a hand dye. But I used the yellow to break the color, and that was actually quite fun because instead of you would knit to the next stripe, which always makes it. It's nice to have something that motivates you, because you're knitting. I think just plain orange might have been quite.
Deadly.
A bit boring in the end. Hey, so it was this L Elite in the 50% wool, 50% cotton, and I think I got 50-gram balls, but I think I got them for like the equivalent of about $1 a ball of yarn. It really was very inexpensive. So and for a workhorse everyday cardigan, it's been great. I really quite enjoy that. So that's what I made and I finished it in time for Sally's Mama Vertebrae along, which was not August and September, July and August. Yes. Hey, July and August you had to knit your
Wasn't it till the end of September?
No,
It was, because I remember.
it was 2 months. In August we were supposed to.
I thought it was in the September, and then I tried to finish it, but I didn't.
Maybe I finished mine, but maybe you had an extra month. I know I finished mine sooner than you.
Started in.
Maybe it was August and September. You might actually be right. Anyway, so
Sally knows.
Sally will know, and she'll be shouting at the screen because I don't know. So finished the mama vertebrae. Very happy with the pattern. There is a kiddie vertebrae and there's a baby vertebrae or newborn vertebrae as well. I really like the pattern, simply laid out. And there is another one with a very similar construction that I've seen recently on Ravelry, but it's got a pattern on the back. I think it's called. No, I don't know. I'm going to have to go and have a look. And I might well knit one of those soon. Or it's got something on the, yeah. I quite like this construction. So I'm always looking for what my next sweater project is going to be. But I'm not allowed to knit any sweaters for me until the Sylvie is finished. But we'll talk about that in works in progress. What I also finished for our hat along, we haven't forgotten, we promise. I did a cornice hat. This is the by Woolly Worm Head. I called it Woolly Worm hat, didn't I? Woolly Worm Head, and it's the painted toppers. And so it was from the book that we reviewed, the painted toppers, and I knitted the cornice hat out of this hand spun. It's absolutely lovely. That Claire got me, and I remember the tag this time. It is hand. There we go. It's just wrong way. Hand spun yarn, and I think you say that snarl. I'm not sure. It is called Summer Sunset. It is a DK, 50% British wool, 25% alpaca, and 25% local Shetland. It was an absolute dream to knit with. It was so nice. It is definitely, I don't want to say rustic, because rustic you always get the idea it's like really crunchy and quite you know, like a bit maybe prickly or itchy or something. It's not. It is a bit more rugged, definitely, but it knits so incredibly soft. It has a good rustic smell though, doesn't it? I mean, it smells very sheepy, but in a nice, clean way. I mean, it's just
doesn't smell like dirty sheep.
No, it doesn't smell like dirty sheep. It just smells lovely. I find often a lot of either commercial yarn or even you know, yarn from superwash or yarn from dyers or whatever, it can be quite sterile smelling, or sometimes just whatever they've soaked it in afterwards or something. But this really smells like, sometimes like vinegar, for the you set it with vinegar or whatever. But this, it smells like sheep, but I really like it. And it's orange and grey, and the colours are fantastic. It is soft. It is really wonderful. So here is my hat, the cornice. Now the cornice is supposed to have a pom-pom. You can see it comes down these sort of ear flappy things here. And it's a sort of a garter pattern. Now the pattern has a pom-pom in it. And I was having a wonder whether it needed a pom-pom or not. And I did a periscope, and people said they did think it needed a pom-pom.
It does need a pom-pom.
But little angel, Sarah, came up with the idea of having a removable pom-pom, which I think is a fantastic idea. So, I mean, that's a bit big. But you could have your pom-pom, and then if you didn't want to wear the pom-pom at times, you could take it off. So I'm going to make a removable pom-pom.
How do you...
On a safety pin.
Doesn't that flop around?
No, she said you just put it on a thingy and then you pin it on the top and then, yeah. So I need to just make, you know what's stopping me? It feels a little bit sacrilegious to take something as beautiful as this hand spun
and cut it.
And make it, wind it round the thingy for a pom-pom and then cut it up into fluffy big, which is stupid because I mean, it's just the finishing adornment of a hat. Comments about the pattern. Now this is hand spun, so it's not going to be exactly the same as hers, and I doubt I got gauge. So it's no comment on the pattern as such. I cast on the size that would have fitted my head, and I found with the garter, because I mean this is all garter here, that it was too big. I found that it was way too big, and so then I cast on the next size down. I went a couple of sizes down, and it fits much better. But then, silly enough, no. know.
Strangely.
Stupidly, whatever. I don't know what's stupid. I was kind of going for just being a little silly. I was a little silly and didn't think that but then when I was following the smaller hat size, it was going to make a shorter hat, if you know what I mean, like a smaller head. Yeah, anyway, I needed more length in the hat, so I actually started the decreases. Yeah, I started the decreases too soon. So I actually went back and I had to count the extra number of rows to make it fit the bigger size, if you know what I mean. So it says knit till this much and then start the decreases. I had to go, well, actually on a larger size, you would only start the decreases 7 or 8 or 12 rows later, so you need to knit those first and then do. So I did actually end up doing the decreases twice, but that's my own fault for doing a small. If you do the smaller size, knit longer before you start the decreases. Obviously, you need the extra length in the hat. And I'm not sure how it goes with flat hair. I'm not sure how it goes with this. This said it was a sports / DK weight. The pattern calls for DK. I found, because of its garter, that it was very big in the sizes, but that could just be because I'm using a yarn that's not a standard weight. You know, obviously hand spun doesn't come out as standard weight. Beautiful yarn, fantastic colors, lovely project. Really liked it. The hat fits well. It's very warm. It's very snug, and I think it's going to look great with a pom-pom. I've got a pom-pom maker, but I don't think I like the way it makes pom-poms. Claire is the queen of pom-poms. I must ask her. I know in the pattern, in the Woolly Worm hat pattern, there is a pom-pom instructions, but I'm going to go see if Claire has. Claire makes gorgeous pom-poms on her, like licorice hats and all the rest. I'm going to go see if she's got a tutorial on her blog. Or I'm going to tell her she should do a Periscope on pom-poms. Or she should do a video. Or she should put up photographs. Or we just love Claire, so Claire should do something about pom-poms.
I tried to make a pom-pom.
Yeah, the pom-pom maker didn't, anyway.
It's fell into pieces.
Yeah.
That pom-pom maker does not work.
Yeah. Anyway, hat done. And you did a hat for the hats along. What did you do?
One of my charity hats I found was at the back of my cupboard. I just started the ribbing. And so I carried this up. And I tried to make the pom-pom for this, but...
Yeah. Does it fit?
It's
a smaller size than... So it's, sort of...
my hat. Well, maybe
I think the ribbing fits around there, but it's probably a bit shallow again.
Maybe
a little bit. Yeah. He is a slightly smaller child's head. So Rachel finished a hat for the charity. I finished a hat. I think we were supposed to each have done a hat and each have done a hat for charity, but the month didn't quite go.
I had one that I was knitting myself, but
that's still in works in progress. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. So those are the 2 hats we did. My socks, my Mama Vertebrae.
Your other socks.
Oh, other socks. Of course, we had a whole month that went past.
Your other socks. Where are they? Where did you put your other socks?
When I had everything ready, I was so.
They were right over there. You were putting.
Oh, here we go. I was so organized. September was spring. I made the bags. Sorry, Sally, I still haven't threaded the ribbon through. I made the bags, but I didn't have any ribbon. So Sally sent me some ribbon. When she sent me this month's Halloween stuff, she sent me ribbon to put. She said she had ribbon. So when I sent her bag, it didn't even have any ribbon. So I made these little people having a tea party, because that's kind of spring, and I thought that was quite fun with the little birdies on the telephone pole. It's just a normal drawstring bag. And funny enough, we both, because Sally does 1 month and I do 1 month, and we've got a theme, and then we speak to whichever dyers we're going to speak to during the month. We both spoke to M from Electric Carnation straight for the 2 months straight after each other, and we both did rainbows. They're very different, but we both did rainbows straight after each other. So it was, this is kind of like the spring, rainbows after the storm kind of thing. So it's this really amazing, I mean, you can see from the grey, it is a fantastically beautiful semi-solid grey. I actually think that would make a beautiful cardigan, just in this sort of tonally grey. I think the grey is absolutely stunning. And then it was these rainbows here. So the rainbows come every now and again. And then there were also little flashes of like little mini, like every now and again there was like a little mini rainbow. And then you can see I did the other one the other way around. So they're the same. Started from the other side of the ball, the toe is the same. The rainbows start in the same place, but the one is purple to red and the one is red to purple. And then you can see where are the little flashing bits? There's like a little rainbow. And I think there's, oh, this side, there's another little one there. And then there was the thing. So those are 64 stitches, fish lips, kiss heel, rounded toe. So I'm sure you're going to get bored of that because it seems to be like just about every pair of socks.
Fish lips, kiss heel, rounded toe.
It fits well though, I really, and I can do it without thinking. There are a lot of heels I want to try, but my socks tend to be things that I do like if I'm watching TV and I often leave them to the last minute and need to get done quickly at the end of the month. I think I finished these with like 2 days to spare or something. So anyway, those were our rainbow socks. We did 2 months of rainbows straight after each other. What are you doing? Wearing a hat?
It looks like a Christmas hat.
A Christmas hat. Beautiful. You look fantastic. Haven't you guys missed us? We're full of nonsense. Is that it? I have listed some secret projects, but I can't show you those. So what I want to do, because I like to talk about my projects, I'm going to, at the end of each episode, as I record them now, if I've got a project I can't show you, I'm going to record a short snip, and then I'm going to put all of those together in an episode of secret knitting.
Once you've sent it.
Once I've sent it, everyone's got their thing, then I can have an episode of secret knitting. So,
secret.
2 pairs of socks finished. Since we last spoke to you, that's all. I'm now going to fetch Titus from school, and then we'll come back and do whips.
See you in like.
Unless you want to do your birthday acquisitions while I go. You want to wait?
I'll wait.
Okay. All right. See you just now. Right. So let's get on to works in progress. Of course, it's a new month and a new theme for the year of socks, and it is Halloween. I love Halloween. I like totally love Halloween. And you know, it's getting bigger here. I see more stuff in the shops and more. I mean, everyone moans it's commercial and blah blah blah. But my area doesn't do Halloween. So the last time the kids went trick or treating or did anything for Halloween was when we lived in England. No, I lied. We came back and we went to that one thing at the zoo with Barbara before we all moved. And that was when you were 5 and Rachel's now 11. So South Africa is sadly a little bit lacking on the Halloween front. There's no one in the street does it. There's no trick-or-treating. Mostly unless because the boys are back, we're just going to have to make do with the noises in the background. I will stop them if it gets a bit much. Yeah, I know. I had a Halloween party once, and there are some, and I'm trying to look for stuff in Cape Town, and there's a lot of. Hold on one second. Right, motherly wrath has been dealt out on those making a noise in the background. There again, I must say, there is no cure for moaning about your children or feeling overwhelmed by your children like having more children. So there's a little book, a children's book, called A Squash and a Squeeze, and there's this old lady and she's moaning about her house, and so she asks the wise old man, what must she do? And he says, take in your goat or chicken or whatever. And she says, well, how will that help? My house was tiny for 1 and now it's titchy for 2 or something like that. And then he keeps going and he says, take in your goats and take in your chicken and take in the cow and take in the pig, and the house gets worse and worse and worse. And the goat eats the curtains and the pig breaks the jug or whatever it is. It's written by the Gruffalo, the author of the Gruffalo, and it's illustrated in the same way. It's very cute and it's all rhyming. And then in the end, he says to her, well, chase everybody out of your house. And then suddenly your house feels enormous. So it was too small for however many, 5 of them or 6 with all the animals, but it feels enormous for 1. So at the beginning she thought her house was too small, and then in the end, after everyone had left, she felt her house was enormous. So you don't moan as a mother of 3 children once you've been a mother of 6 children for a month. They weren't difficult, but it's just, a lot of extra noise and extra negotiating, and you know what kids are like. So, yeah. back to Halloween. So I tried to look it up if there was any kids parties or things for the kids to go to that they could get dressed up or something, and there's nothing. There's nothing for kids. There's a couple of adult parties and clubs doing, dress up and free drinks at the door and blah blah blah. But I mean, there didn't seem to be anything for children, sadly. So my favorite holiday, or one of my favorite holidays, is landing up not really being celebrated here. Sadly. So yes, but anyway, it was Halloween. So we got this sock yarn, which is black and orange and green and purple. I'm always going the wrong way on this camera. And that is from Yarn Stash, Pietermaritzburg, Wendy. And I'm really, really loving it. And then Sally made us a bag, which I think goes so well with the yarn. It's got witches on brooms and cats. And it's just really lovely. It's got a little skull zipper doodle there. Let me hold that straight. Is that focusing? And I think these go really well. So this is a fantastic project. I haven't done that much on it. I did cast on quite soon after I got it because I was very excited because I love Halloween. But I haven't done all that much knitting on it because I have been trying to finish. Caleb and my dad go to England on Tuesday next week, and I have been trying to finish all the stuff that needs to go with them. Some of it is secret stuff that I can't show you, and some of it is stuff that I can show you. And the one thing that I can show you, I had thought I had more time to knit this because my mother was going to go in December, but now her chemo is going on a little bit longer and she can only go in January. So I had to finish my sister's Bonnie for her 40th birthday, which is in December. I had to finish her Bonnie before my dad goes. So I suddenly had to cast that on and get going. So this is both under acquisitions and under projects because the yarn was from Heartland and it's a really lovely, I think it's called, I don't think I put the label in my drawer, but I don't think I've put it in here yet. I think it was called Peridite.
What's Peridite?
I think it's a gemstone. I did put it on Instagram. Well, so this is a bit, and I'm just trying to get the color. This is a bit lighter than Peridite. It's not bright, but it is a light green. No, you see, it's coming out very palely. It's kind of not getting the brightness of the green. It's got a lot more sort of lettucey color to it. So this is the Bonnie. You'll know I've knitted one for myself before. I've got mine out too. It's the Tin Can Knits pattern, where it's very simple stocking stitch in the round in lace weight, and then you do this patterned cowl neck. I'm trying to show it here in the front there. What I noticed on mine though was that I made my armholes a bit short. It said kind of measure it stretched, and I managed to put a bit more stretch in it than I should have because my armholes are a bit short. So I've been careful on hers. The gauge seems to be quite a bit loose, so it is a different yarn. But so there's the body, and then I've split for the armholes, and I've knitted the front with the lacy bit for the cowl. But I've left it on the needles and I've now started the back to do up the back again. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to wet it and block it and everything, and then just check that the armholes are all the right length, front and back. And then I will 3-needle bind off the sleeves and then bind off, the other stuff. The shoulders, not sleeves, the top of the shoulders. So I've got a little bit more to go. Let's see how far am I. So there's the armhole. And I've done that much of the back up to there, and I've got that much, oops, all these needles are great, that much to go. So from there to there, still to go. And as I said, this needs to be finished by Tuesday. I also asked if I could make my brother-in-law anything, so I'm going to be trying to finish a hat for my brother-in-law, and I have a couple of other things I want to finish for people to send. So I really have to, the Halloween socks are going to be left until after the 20th when everybody, when all the other parcels and stuff is left. I'm doing the FO and Die Halloween. No, it's not a Halloween. Well, it's sort of Halloween themed. So it's a magic themed swap. And both Sally and I are going to send our stuff back. We're going to send our stuff with Caleb to England for our swap partners. So I've knitted something for that, which is part of the secret part, which I will show you. I'll record at the end and show it next time. So I've done some knitting for that. I made a project bag for that. I made a couple of other project bags to go to England. So, oh, I know what would be nice to show. The project bags you kids did.
They're not finished. We can show them once they're finished.
Oh, we should put ribbon in them. It's like this one. They're until this stage, they just don't have ribbon. All the children, except for the oldest boy, he didn't really want to, made those colour-in bags. You know, the project bags with the fabric from IKEA that they then colour in with the colouring pencils. So the kids all made those. They coloured those in one Sunday, and then I sat and made a million project bags. My kids had made before, so there were 3 that I hadn't sewn up, and then there were 4 more that they did. No, Titus, Caleb,
5 more.
Rachel, 5 more that I did. So I think I had 8 or 9 project bags in total to finish making, which I did.
Because you had some other ones for your parcels.
Yeah, some other Christmas parcels and stuff to do as well. So I've been doing some sewing, just not so much knitting. Well, I've knitted this whole body since you last saw me, which is almost finished. And this is a Heartland lace. And I'm very sorry I don't have the tag because I can't tell you what it is. It's not a sparkle base. I know that because it's not sparkly. So I looked it up quickly. The Greyton lace is 80% superwash BFL, Blue Face Leicester, and 20% silk, and that's from Heartland.
Did you know that they're genetically modifying silkworms to spin glow-in-the-dark silk and stronger silk?
Glow-in-the-dark silk?
Yes.
How?
They put DNA from a jellyfish.
Oh, there's underwater ones. What's it called? There's a kind of a...
They don't go underwater.
No, I know, but I'm saying underwater fish. Underwater jellyfish have the glow-in-the-dark.
Yes.
Those deep-sea fish. What's the thing called that makes it
glow
in the dark? It is, isn't it? Eric, keep talking and I'll find what it is.
So they're giving those and DNA from a spider to make the silk stronger. And when
so it's from the spider, because spiders have very strong silk. Yeah. Because apparently humans cannot manufacture anything as strong as spider silk for the thinness and the way they spin it. Apparently spider silk for what it is, spider thread for what it is the strongest thread. What was I looking at? Glow in the dark. So are they giving them, it's something called bioluminescence from a bacteria or something. Are they giving that to the silkworms? And then they
can make products that are
glow in the dark. That is freaky. I didn't know that.
So soon you can knit glow in the dark.
Glow in the dark yarn. But now there's different silk, because there's silk from, like mulberry silk, from silkworms. And then is it all from silkworms?
This is from a silkworm.
This is from a silkworm.
That they feed mulberry leaves. But when they're an egg, they genetically modify.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, maybe we can have glow in the dark yarn soon.
Must be expensive.
I presume so. And why do they want to, I mean, I can understand why they want to make garments stronger, but why do they want it to glow in the dark?
I don't know.
Just for fun?
Yeah. They made it, and it looks pretty. And the colours.
Have they done it? Have they actually made the silk? Oh, okay.
And they can even genetically modify them to glow a certain colour.
Huh? If I find the information, I'll link it in the show notes, and you can all go and have a look at glow in the dark silk. So any dyers out there, catch on. This might be something worth investigating. So that's the Bonnie for my sister that I have to get done, and it's in the Heartland lace. Right, the next thing I had before works in progress was the Sylvie, and I did I was doing 2 rows a day, just to get some, sorry, just move that for a minute, just to get some progress. And then when I've been on the sort of deadline to finish this thing for my sister, and with the kids being here, I didn't do 2 rows a day, I must admit. But I think it's a bit further than when you last saw it. And I said I'd only show progress
once a month.
So as you know, I'm knitting.
And they got a break in September.
Yeah, I'm knitting the whole front, but creased from being in the back. I'm knitting the front, and then there's the side bit there. And then I'm knitting the back at the same time. So there's the, oh, wrong way. There's the back. And then here's the leaves there. And I think the first flower, hold on, just go that way. The first flower that you make all the little ends for is going to come up here. So I've done the 2 leaves. You can see, oopsie. I think it's better in the bulkier yarn held double. So this is the Stylecraft Aran Weight held double. And this is I did have the ticket for this one. And here somewhere. It's an 80-20, 80%. It says, I was very sure I put the ticket in here. Maybe not. It's an 80%, oh there we go, I did not have it. It's an Aran wool, a special Stylecraft, 80% premium acrylic. I don't know if that makes a difference. And 20% wool.
What's premium acrylic?
Premium acrylic, I have no idea. It's certainly not, you know, you're not knitting with just wool, but it is not squeaky or plasticky to knit with at all. It's not unpleasant to knit with at all. 816 meters in the balls are 400 grams. They're big. Those big balls are about the size of Titus's head. So it's this Stylecraft and the 8% premium acrylic and 20% wool. So that's what I'm making that from, and it's for a friend of mine. And I think it's a bit further than you saw. I have to keep convincing myself, even though it's 2 rows, it is, you know, I'm knitting on the front and the back and the other front all at the same time. So I mean, once I've finished this bit and split the armholes and things like that, you know, it's going to be a lot less jersey to finish. It's not just like knitting the back and then you've still got all the other pieces. So it's slow progress, but it is some progress. And I will show you again next month. I think that's better. I've got to finish my sister's thing. And then November is the month I just want to finish this. I've got some Christmas knitting to do. I've got socks for the geek and things like that. And I don't want this still on the needles next year. So this definitely has to be finished.
Give it to Cara as a Christmas present.
Yeah. And I wound the balls up, broke them up, wound them up a bit smaller. And for those of you that don't know, this is the Sylvie, and it is a coat pattern by Mari Moin. I'm not even going to try and say that. I'll put it on the bottom. I'm not even going to attempt to butcher somebody's name. Let's see, are those quite good pictures, I think. So there you can see the flower design. It's a long coat, and there's the cable up the back of the hood. There's one of the full-length coats on the back. So that's what I'm making, and it's taken me a while. And this is the second attempt. I frogged the first attempt, as some of you will know.
You were so far.
I know. And this is in my. I've done a front, 2 fronts, and a halfway up the back or something.
And a sleeve.
Oh, and a sleeve. That's right. And this is in my bag that I made for our Frozen theme in June, didn't I?
That you made a bit big.
And I made it a bit big, so it actually holds my...
It was a sock bag.
It's supposed to be for socks, but it's huge.
A sock bag is this.
So yeah, that's what I'm using that for. What else am I knitting on? So it was the Bonnie, the Sylvie. Oh, your kitty vertebrae. We didn't. The mama
between that project.
Yeah, the mama vertebrae along must have gone into September because you hadn't finished, and then we didn't knit much in the time everybody was here. So my mom and I. This is Rachel's kitty vertebrae. It is in the Noro yarn. I think it's called Secret Garden or something. I can't remember the colorway. Had you split for the sleeves before?
Yeah.
When we showed last time.
It was just under the sleeve.
Okay. We'd split for the sleeves and then we've gone down the body there. So between everybody will kind of help her finish it.
It's so long and takes forever.
It is. It does. I mean, I have to sort of realize that she is only, well, 10. She's now 11. She had a birthday in between last time we spoke to you. She is only 11, and I don't think I knitted, especially not an entire fingering weight sweater at 11. So I think she does need a bit of help. So we've been helping her with that. So that's the kitty vertebrae, and this is one of the bags that Elaine made. Hey, Elaine Ellaby. So that's quite cool. She's got that in there. It does fit nicely. So that was yours, and then you've got
a lot
spinning,
which I'm doing.
What is this?
This is my.
This is a Rolag.
Hold that. While I go get my tag.
This is a Rolag from Gina at Natural Yarns, and the name that she dyes her own stuff under is Stella Fiberworks. And what's in it?
Okay, let's see. Merino silk alpaca baby.
So baby alpaca, and it is 15 grams, and it's called. The colorway is called Way Up High, and it's a little Rolex. It's sky colors. It's really beautiful. Very nice. A little bit of purple, but mostly blues. You like this kind of colors, don't you?
I started it just before we started the podcast.
Yes, you've done. You finished some other green spinning that you need to ply. Hey.
Yeah, I'll show you. And all my birthday stuff.
And under acquisitions, Rachel's got a whole bunch of birthday stuff to show. Hey.
Okay. The two balls, one is just wound loose, exactly the same.
So we need to apply that and then wash it.
And then wash.
Okay, cool.
I have two green cheeks.
Beautiful.
Okay.
So that's your spinning. And your kitty vertebrae and your socks. Do you want to show your socks?
Let's put my spinning out. Okay, this is acquisitions / birthday present / whip. So this is, let's see, which is the good side? This side. Oh. Okay. So this is my yarn. What's it called?
I think it's called Birthday Wishes, I think. Was it?
It said Happy Birthday on it.
Like birthday something. It was by Electric Carnation, and I bought it for Rachel's birthday. And I said I would knit the socks for her, but I think when she saw the list of things that I have to knit at the moment, she decided she might have to wait a very long time, and so cast them on herself. Well, I cast them on, but decided to knit them herself. And it is in bluey turquoises, yellow and pink.
Yeah, the yellow and pink sort of stripe.
Yeah. And you really like it. It's really very Rachel colours, isn't it?
Yes.
Very.
And then my other socks, which I forgot to show my bag. This is my bag from Heidi. This is my socks. My other socks is my bag from Sally. Okay. And they're orange.
You dyed those, didn't you? When I was doing my white sandy beach socks are in the same. Well, we dyed them at the same time.
Mine are lighter.
Yours are much lighter with more sort of orangey variations. Mine were slightly less. I think mine were a lot more of just much darker orange, which is good when you're doing a pattern, because then you don't have, it doesn't show as much. So
and I have my little notions patch in it.
Yeah. Your socksack and notions pouch from Sally. Hey.
So these.
Now you're doing those on the 9-inch circulars.
Yes.
Yeah. And so you made me cast on too many stitches.
64.
64 stitches, because it's very tight to knit on 9-inch circulars if you've got less than 64 stitches, and now they are too big for you.
I'm still knitting.
So apparently, we'll see. Apparently, she might give them to me.
Might.
Because her mother likes orange.
Depends how they fit when we put the heel
Oh, well, you've got to decide before we put the heel in, because if they're going to, for me, we'd
when
have to
it's
be a lot
by
further
my
along.
heel, I'll check.
It won't put. I'm making these for your birthday, Mom, but apparently no, maybe not.
I'll decide.
So Rachel is knitting her birthday socks and some orange socks.
So orange socks go in here. Birthday socks match their bag.
And they do, don't they? The bag from Heidi. It's lovely.
They sit in my bag and.
Kitty Bird spray 2 times socks. Okay, you've got one more work in progress, and I have one more.
What's my one more work in progress?
Your licorice hat.
Oh, it's.
Now, we have to apologize to Claire. We failed hopelessly in her Knit Share Love knit along, because with all the kids here, I thought I had heaps of time to finish everything in September, and just so little, not a lot of knitting got done in September. So neither of us finished our patterns for the Knit Share Love. And Claire very kindly gave you the pattern and a friend when we did this knit along. So what I'm going to do to make it up to Claire, because but exciting news, Claire's coming to visit me in December or January. I think it's after Christmas actually. So I'm really hoping we're going to get to do a podcast with her, because that'll be fun, don't you think? I don't know how Maeve will. Anyway.
Maeve could go watch Stampy with the boys.
Yeah, she's a bit younger. I don't know if she'll want to watch Stampy with the boys in a strange house. But anyway, we'll see. If possible, we might try and podcast with Claire. Won't that be nice? But I have to do a podcast at night, maybe. We'll just have to deal with the bad lighting. I'm sure you guys will be willing to put up with bad lighting for being able to have Claire on the podcast. Anyway, so my sorry that I didn't get the Knit Share Love cull finished to Claire, is that the first 3 people, and I'm not going to put it in the show notes, and I'm not going to put it, you're going to have to watch this and then go onto this episode's thread on my group, on the Pink Hair Girl group on Ravelry, and the first 3 people to say yes please to a pattern from Claire, and any one of her patterns that obviously some are in I think it's any of those designed under the label Yarn and Pointy Sticks, which is her own designs rather than through a magazine or something where I don't know if all the rights are, some of them are for magazines and she doesn't sell them independently yet. So any of the ones under Yarn and Pointy Sticks, patterns of Claire, the first 3 people to say, me please, I will gift you, because Claire's patterns are amazing. Claire designs beautifully. Her photography is amazing. Her layout is wonderful. They're very clear. She really does such nice patterns. And Rachel, Caleb, and I got patterns for the Knit Share Love knit along. And so I would like to share the love now, even though the knit along is over. I would like to, if you don't have any patterns of Claire's, even if you do, if there's one you're looking for, just go and say me please and tell me which pattern you want, and the first 3 people I will gift patterns to them. So which one are you doing? You're doing the licorice hat, aren't you? And the licorice hat has a gorgeous big pom-pom on it as well. I love the one Claire did where she did the pom-pom in a contrast color. Are you going to do that? I don't know. Hers is the hat is green and the pom-pom's pink, isn't it?
What colour would
I don't know.
What colour pom-pom would go with this?
I don't know.
I think this might look with it nice with it.
And that is a cascade yarn.
With a hole in.
And yeah, the licorice hat has. This is a cascade. It is 50% llama, 50% wool. 132 yards to 100 grams.
When India saw it, she said you have holes in your hat.
Yeah, but it's supposed to have holes. Caleb's doing the same one. So maybe by next week we'll try and have all the licorice hats finished. So
it goes so quickly.
It does go quickly. It's bulky weight. We must just do them.
The pom-pom must be big like this.
Well, you can make the pom-pom with as much yarn as you've got left.
Pom-pom must be like this, look.
I think the blue looks quite nice. You've got a blue stitch marker there. That could look quite nice as a. Maybe people can suggest what color pom-pom. If you look at the licorice hat, you'll see that it's got a big contrasting color pom-pom. Maybe people can give us suggestions. A big pink one might look nice as well. This is like got bluey pinks in it, or a big red one. You decide. So that's the licorice hat that Rachel's doing. I was doing the Pwani shawl, and I just didn't get round to doing any more. With the secret knitting I've had to do and the stuff I've got to get ready for England, I really am no further than I was when I showed you this last time. So I will do this as soon as everything else is over. And it's a lovely shawl, and I'm really looking forward to actually doing it. So this is Claire's Pwani shawl, and it will be done.
Your needles as well.
On my
What
are they called? Oh my goodness, the
metal tips.
Knit Pro Carbons.
Can we call all them Can we call them spear needles? They look
spear needles.
They look like a spear if you hold them like this. Porcupine quill needles.
Okay.
They need to change their name to porcupine quill.
Right, you can call them whatever you like. So that's the Pwani, and it will get done. It's just on a little bit of a hiatus at the moment while I do this deadline. Knitting. Is that all? We've got so many works in progress, Rachel. We're probably making Sally twitch like mad. Halloween socks, Bonnie, silver, Pwani,
like
kitty vertebrae, 2 socks for you, and spinning.
Yeah, we've got a lot.
That's it, hey?
Acquisition.
Lots. Exciting part. Do you want to do your birthday stuff first?
Well, you do your one thing you got. I'm going to go fetch the rest of my birthday things. I only bought my fibre.
Okay. A while back, I showed you guys some brown alpaca that I had. And I was wanting to know what I could add to it to make stronger socks. And there was apparently sock nylon stuff that I could get. But it's very warm. And Suzanne contacted me from Canada and said, would I consider trading? Because she just moved to Canada, which is really cold, and could do with alpaca in a hat. And then she could send me something that we might not necessarily be able to get here. So we did a trade, and I sent the alpaca to her, and she sent a parcel to me. Oh, one thing, won't you look for the watermelon bag in the bags just next to the thing with Caleb? So I got a fantastic parcel from Canada. As usual, Suzanne was a little bit worried that the parcel had gone missing. But dear, everything African time, it takes longer than you expect. So don't worry if you send us anything. It does take a little longer. But what a great parcel we got. So I got a lovely bonjour card about all the things. And she went to a local dyer to get the yarn. And it was such fun. So there's this one for me. Biscotti and C. I don't know. It's C-I-E. But I don't know if you say that Shen or something. It's French. And I don't speak any French. So I wouldn't even know how to pronounce that.
Is there French in Canada?
Yes. Canada, that's the 2 official languages, English and French Canadian. And this is on the Felix base. It's a self-striping, 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon, 100 grams, 350 meters. And this is watermelon. I got watermelon self-stripe yarn. How cool is that? I'm going to make myself some watermelon socks. And then someone has got a compulsion to put everything on their head. And then a watermelon bag. Project bag to match that. Oops, sorry, there we go. With all the watermelon pips inside. So cool. And even the stitching on the side there. Look, there's little leafy stitching on the side. I don't know if it's focusing on that. And that was my watermelon yarn. And then the other one, she said, she had planned to get a subtle grey blue for Emma, because you know the geek likes his kind of stuff. Subtle. But because the brown alpaca was originally going to be for Emma's socks, but the lady at the shop managed to convince her to send this game because it's winter here in Canada's hockey season, and hockey in Montreal means the Montreal Canadiens, the local team. Life stops and everyone watches the hockey. And so this is some self-stripe now for Emma or somewhere else. Emma actually loves it. He quite likes, I don't think he'd wear pink socks necessarily, but he likes red and he likes orange and And certainly in socks, he would definitely wear it. He likes greys and browns as well, but he was very chuffed with this. He really said, no, that's great. He would definitely wear it. So these are going to be socks for Emma for probably not Christmas. I've got some other yarns to do some Christmas socks for him, which is...
Was that one that you showed me on your phone in the bedroom?
Grey and blue.
That he was not allowed to see.
Yeah. So that's that's the yarn in the project bag. And then I got some maple tea, which contains real maple syrup. The box got a little bit bashed, but your tea doesn't matter. So that was that. And then I also got some maple pepper. So it's got maple syrup with the pepper, like I think you put it in your food, like use it as a seasoning. So that's very cool. And then where's the? I was nearly accusing Rachel of eating them. Sally, Wool Diaries, please take note that I have not eaten the candy this time. I have saved the candy to show on the podcast.
Upside down.
I don't. Pure soft maple sugar. Just the French one's the other way around. I have saved the maple candy to show on the podcast because I am so good. No, actually arrived when all the children were here visiting, and there wasn't enough for everybody to have, and I didn't want to share. I was going to say it, and it sounded so rude. But yeah, I still am debating sitting one night and scoffing them off while I watch TV. But there are 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there are 5 of us. So I might have to share them with the rest of the family. So that's maple candy, which I've never had before, which apparently is wonderful. So we got that, and we got the yarn. Isn't that lovely? So I swapped stuff with her for the alpaca, and she sent me those skeins of yarns. I think I did very well. Right. You by far have the most stuff in acquisitions.
Do people want to start with fibre or?
Well, I think they mostly want to know the 5. I don't think everyone wants to do every single birthday present
everybody wants to start with 5.
Well, everyone wants to see. So the yarn you got was the one for the socks, hey?
Yes.
I don't think you got any other yarn.
Let's get some spinning fibre. Okay.
You got a lot of fibre.
I got a lot of this one. I'm going to take it out the bag.
And who's this from?
My dad in England. Wait, which one? All right. Okay. Open these. Oh. It's a crinkling.
A little bit.
Oh dear. People do not like crinkling. This one looks good. Okay. There we go.
So this is Countess Ablaze, and their international postage prices are very reasonable. So her dad, instead of sending it to my sister to come back, actually sent it for her birthday to South Africa. Yeah, never mind we had to pay customs on it, but hey. And it's called Geeks Like Rainbows 2. 100 grams, 3.5 ounces, merino and triloba, which is the Firestar. The sparkle stuff. There we go, yes. The sparkly stuff. And so you can't really see it like that. And it's this kind of rainbowy color fiber. He did ask me how much she needed to make something from. You know, him not knowing anything about knitting or spinning or anything. And I did say, well, you know, it's depends obviously how thin somebody spins, how many meters you're going to get out of the finished product. He said, well, how much would you need to make a garment from? And I said, well, you know, she's a child. She's just spinning a little bit. Just get 100 grams and she could make a hat or whatever from it. And so
I got 400 grams.
He got it, and then I said, well, if you want to get more, get a different color so that you can have different things to spin. But him being ever practical, thought it would be better for her to have all the same color and then she could make a garment from it.
There's a lot.
So Rachel has 400 grams. I really hope she's not going to get bored spinning that much. But yeah.
Next on my.
You're spinning.
It's not next on my needles. It's next on my spindle.
So whether she gets a garment or whether she gets hats and a cowl and
hats, cows,
and mittens,
gloves.
I don't think you'll get.
No,
well, it's
I
not got
don't think
nylon for
socks would
socks.
work.
I don't think socks would work. But
Okay.
so yes, she can either spin a whole lot of accessories for herself, or she can spin.
Okay.
A garment or whatever. So yes, we'll see.
Oh, put them in the wrong bags.
Doesn't matter.
This one's in what the other fibers are supposed to be
You
in.
can fiddle around later. No one wants to hear your bags.
Washed in. Okay, so this one is here.
This is just a braid.
Braid.
And this is also, don't handle it too much. Make it fluffy. Take it off.
Looks nice as it's silly. Why don't I felt it and then make it into a scarf?
Ooh, ridiculous. Because it's superwash anyway. This is superwash. 21 micron. 94 grams Sunset Serenade. It's superwash. You can't want to felt it. You can't felt it anyway. And you're supposed to spin it. You're supposed to spin it. So what was it called? Sunset. Yeah. So it's all the orangey red colours that I thought she might quite like. So that was from me and her papa for her birthday, along with her sock yarn. You got a lot of fibre for your birthday.
So this was from Gina.
Yeah, from Stella Fiberworks. Yes. And then she sent you the little roller as a present from her in your birthday stuff.
And I don't feel like I'm missing something.
No, I think you got that 400 grams and that and the roller and the yarn for your birthday, yeah. And then you got all sorts of other
books.
Then
I had my 2 dogs, my books.
You've got Anne of Green Gables from me.
And another book.
Are you enjoying Anne of Green Gables?
Yes.
It's quite a fun story. She's a funny character, Anne. She reminds me of you a bit. That was your birthday. What else did I get? I got, well, besides the yarn for the Bonnie, for my sister, I got 2 balls of Howling North Wind, which is a Sutherland DK with sparkle. And it's the one with grey that has a little bit of pink through it. You know, you just see sort of ever so subtle bits of pinky, purpley, pinky, purpley bits every now and again through the skein. And when Claire's here, we've decided to do like a friend's design swap project, something, who knows. So we'll each design with one skein. So we'll each get some yarn, and then I'll design something with the one and she'll design something with the other, and then we'll give them to the other person.
Make a hat.
So, and then she'll bring a skein of yarn from hers and give me one of those, and she'll keep one, and then we'll design again. So we'll do 2 designs, like a little collection. 2 designs and 2 thingies.
So you each take yarn. So you go, here you go, and she goes, here you go, and you have to design something.
Yeah.
2 things.
Yeah.
So make a hat and mittens.
Well, something like that, accessories. So I've got the yarn for that, and I need to start thinking what I'm going to do with it. I've sort of got an idea, but I'm not sure. I'm a bit. Claire makes such great designs that
I'm nervous.
Yes, I must admit.
Why don't you make?
And this one is called. Oh, where's the label of that? I've taken. I think it's called On the Reef. That's a sock yarn. And I've taken the label.
It is going to be so pretty socks.
Yeah, On the Reef. This is a sock yarn. In the picture, I thought it was pinker, but it's not as pink as I thought. But I still think it's very much Rachel's colours. It's blues and yellows and turquoises. It's very pretty. I had thought of it for a swap partner at one point, but it's got yellow, which a lot of people say they don't like yellow. If you say you don't like yellow in a swap, would you like? Do people not like it as much as like having that bit of yellow in the?
I think it means like they do not want
a whole skein of yellow. But would you mind if it had like if you said you don't like yellow and orange, if it had sort of a tiny bit of yellow and orange? Do you think people normally mind that? I don't know. See, I think this, if you like blue, there was somebody I had recently that liked blue and green, but I was so worried they didn't like yellow and orange that I didn't send. Anyway, I've seen this yarn for ages and I really loved it, and so I eventually got it, and now I don't know what I'm going to do with it.
So
it might make a nice shawl. It might make nice. It would make nice socks. But I've got so many socks that I need to knit. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. So that is my skein of yarn I bought, sort of on impulse. You see, it's got purpley bits and
no impulse control.
Greeny bits. Well, I did because I've seen it ages ago. You see, there's the yellow in there. It's supposed to look like a coral reef.
It does.
And there's some orangey bits in there. Yeah, it's a lot brighter than it's coming up on screen. So while it looks very muted there, that orange is quite a bright, you know, little flashes of stuff. So I don't know. That was my acquisitions. The other thing we need to do is the hat along. To say, sorry, we didn't forget about the hats along, and I was looking at everybody's hats, and everyone's done amazing things. So that kind of coincided with us, with the Phoenix hat coming out and all of that sort of thing. And so the hat along is now over, and I left it up a little bit, and because, you know, we haven't been on line as much with stuff being hectic here, so I didn't close it exactly on the day, but it is now time to announce the winner. Right, so thank you so much to everybody that put hats in the hat knit along. Sorry that we weren't as active chatting and stuff with everybody being here. So here's my hat I did, and there's your hat you did. Take your pony out. And we have 3 winners. I'm not doing physical posted prizes for this knit along because the last one with quite a lot of prizes, do you know how many I posted in the end? About 9 prizes or something posted, just about bankrupted me. I don't mind doing them, but the prizes are very expensive to post from South Africa, so I have to do ones with prizes slightly less post frequently. Yes, so these are just pattern prizes this time for the hat knit along. So the because you kind of suggested, and I hadn't even thought of prizes. The first winner who will win any one of my hat patterns, so just let me know and I will gift it to you, is Apple 380. So Apple 380, who is Jamie. So Jamie, congratulations, and well done on entering your hat. That wins one of my hat patterns. You will get it, as with all of my competitions. I know that a lot of people don't let you know if you've won, and you've always got to watch the podcast. Now, I fall behind with podcasts, and I know that's sometimes really difficult. So I do give you an ear burn, and then you've got 30 days in which to contact me. I just think that sometimes it's a bit, we don't all stay on top of podcast watching all the time. And I'm sure if it was always that I had to watch the podcast, there's going to be some I've missed with things I've entered, I'm sure.
I think I would be more lucky with watching the podcast.
Yeah.
I don't ever go onto Ravelry.
Yeah, but it's because they give you an ear burn. Anyway. And then the other one, the next person who will win any one of my hat patterns is Yarn Poetry, Sarah. So congratulations. And the last one who wins, very lucky person, one of Claire's hat patterns from her tea collection is Tanya Marie. Tanya, I don't know if you've got Claire's hat patterns.
What happens if she does?
I don't know. If you do, Tanya, contact me and I will negotiate something with Claire or gift you one of her other patterns or something like that. So just let me know. So that's our hat knit along, all finished. And we did make hats in the end. We were supposed to do 2, but we didn't. We at least made 1 each.
Well,
and
I forgot about that.
Did you forget? You suggested the hat knit along.
I suggested it and forgot about it.
Yeah, I'm not going to do another knit along now because I've got too much Christmas knitting. It's a lot of places must be doing Socktober, so I'm sure there are lots of
so we are not
knit alongs going on. And if I've got to give it a couple of months and then posting yarn anywhere near November and December, posting stuff in South Africa anywhere near November and December is just asking for trouble. The post office is so inundated and the service is slow and all the rest. So yeah, I don't think we're doing another knit along until next year. You're just going to have to go and find others, and there are lots.
There are tons.
There are tons. But thank you for joining us again. We hope you have enjoyed being with us. And next week we've actually got, I am really hoping, I was thinking about it in the car today, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Yeah.
And it's been my mom's birthday yesterday. And it is, my mother's been doing some knitting for my nieces and nephews and my sister and stuff overseas. I'm hoping I can convince Granny to pod. What do you think the chances of Granny podcasting with us?
Maybe 1 out of 10.
I really hope I can convince my mom to podcast with us next time. Maybe.
You'll have to do a segment.
Maybe even just a little segment, yes.
At Granny's house.
She's made a beautiful doll for my...
Oh, Cinderella.
A Cinderella for my niece. The one that flips round. The one side is the dolly is the Cinderella with her rags on, and then you flip her over. And then the other side is her with her pretty Cinderella stuff on. And she's made some shawls for my sister and a cardigan for my niece. And 2 cardigans. So she can come and talk. And my mother taught me to knit. My mother's my knitting inspiration. So maybe she'll be willing to come on the podcast. I hope so. So thank you so much. And we'll catch you next week.
Yeah.
Bye. Bye.